Hello and welcome to the Philippines. If you have ever ridden a jeepney in the Philippines, you understand that they can get very crowded and they sometimes put out a lot of pollution, noisy, and here's one at night. There's always room for at least one more person also. They cram them in there. The various Philippine governments and agencies have understood for some while that a time for change is here, and we're starting to see more and more of those changes. I'm talking about Cebu City in particular, but I'll be interested to hear from you others that live in other parts of the Philippines what's happening there. It is January 2019 when I'm making this video, and I've started seeing many of these little buses up and down the streets. And originally, I didn't see many people taking them, and I asked people, "Where do they go? What's the cost?" And no one seemed to know. People would tell me, "Well, they go to IT Park." Uh, but they don't go to IT Park and just stop and park there. They go other places, and I'm seeing more and more of them. And they go like this is downtown by Pier near Pier One near Plaza Independencia, and apparently they stop down there by City Hall and pick people up and meander on back towards IT Park. A lot of them, the buses do have IT Park as a final destination. I understand that they are meant to replace jeepneys over the course of a year or two. The beep bus routes are, I'm sure they're a work in progress. They're going to evolve. I had a hard time finding very much information other than various newspapers just coming out and saying starting such and such a date they're going to start. And I did find this particular city, this particular website, and a little bit about the guide initial. Keep in mind initial. So it's going to change. It's going to evolve. And let's run down here. And here's Route 1. City Hall to Cebu IT Park and vice versa. And you can pause the video if you want to concentrate on that. I have seen them stopping at various bus stops, different streets, and I think they're trying to pick up passengers. And I've noticed just in the last couple of weeks that initially it seemed like very few of the buses had people on them, and now I see the buses have quite a few people on them. So apparently the news is getting out. I believe that the fare is 8 pesos in all or most instances, the same as many jeepneys. Some longer jeepney rides will cost you more than that. And here's a breakdown on where they plan to stop. Now, can you stand on the side of the road and flag one down? I don't know if you can or not, or if you have to stop at a bus station, one of those stops along the way. Uh, Beep Route 2, our Duterte Street to Sykes, and there and vice versa. Let's see, and that gives the street stops there. There again, it is a work in progress. It's going to evolve. Another travel option several of you have used already is Mybus. It's run by the SM company, same people that run the malls, my understanding is. And this particular terminal is it's right next to SM Mall, Cebu City, and very close to the Radisson Blue is right there in the background. And you could get on there. They have many stops: Park Mall, SM Mall here, Robinson's Galleria, um, SM Seaside, and they do have a bus that runs from Robinson's Fuente Circle out to Seaside as well. They also have a bus that runs out to Talise, the city in the south of Cebu City. Many of these buses will run about every 20 minutes, I believe, even to the two different terminals at the airport. So it is an option. Nice air-conditioned buses. In my opinion, too cold most of the time. In addition to Mybus, which doesn't have the most extensive routes, is another company, and the Sugbo Tours bus company, and I believe they're part of the Cirrus group, I think. Anyway, here's a little bit of an article. Mybus actually started, which is owned by SM Mall people, launched in 2016, so it isn't all that old itself, but it is heavily used between the various number of malls and the airport. Down here, the bus rapid transit system, there's an argument between the politicians, different groups, some pushing the bus rapid transit system, which seems to be more in the works and much quicker to implement here, and a longer term light rail system for Cebu City area. And anyway, Sugbo Transit Express apparently is Cirrus Liner and Sugbo Tours partnership. Has deployed some buses, and they run from the Cebu City. They are offering service from the Cebu South Bus Terminal, which is in the downtown area, near what they call E Mall or Elizabeth Mall, to Mactan Cebu International Airport Terminal 2, which is the international terminal. And just like SM Mybus, Sugbo Tours is handicap friendly, GPS and CCTV enabled. And it has free Wi-Fi. That's interesting. And each bus can accommodate 42 to 90 passengers, including standing passengers. And that's what the bus looks like. I see those buses out there often, but I've never seen them at their particular stops. So they tend to go to malls other than the malls that SM Mybus buses go to. And the bus fare here, I'm assuming that this information is up to date. What I've found is many companies do not keep their Facebooks and their websites up to date, but I'm presuming that is. Be sure you have more than that just in case. 25 for the first 3 bus stops that you would pass, and 40 from the South Bus Terminal to Mactan Airport and vice versa. 20% discount applies to students, senior citizens, and the handicap cash basis for now. Mybus does have a card you can purchase for 100 pesos, about $2 US, and then you can load it just like you load a phone. You put credit on it, and usually a lot of their routes are 25 pesos as well. The scheduled buses apply every hour from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Now, I'm sure that's evolving too, and that can change. Unlike Mybus, Sugbo tour buses don't have a fixed schedule for departure yet, perhaps due to a lack of available buses. Interesting. No guarantee on time. For now, they arrive every hour. And here's a list of the bus stations as of June 2018. So it's already 6-7 months late here. The International Airport, Island Central Mall, Pacific Mall, North Bus Terminal, Robinson's Galleria, Fuente Osmeña Circle, which is what's called Uptown area, and the South Bus Terminal. And from the South Bus Terminal, Robinson's Fuente, Robinson's Galleria, North Bus Terminal, Pacific Mall, and the International Airport. And while I'm talking about transportation options, I will mention VHire, Van for Hire. They have a number of terminals in Cebu City area and around the country, the Philippines. And some areas have lots of VHires, some have very few. Some areas that used to have buses, the VHires have taken over a lot of that area. In the Big Island of Cebu, buses and VHires run and compete. against each other, with each other. This happens to be the SM City Mall in Cebu City, and there's a big terminal right outside of the mall, and they go primarily to fairly local over to Mactan Island, south a ways, maybe north just a little ways. There are other VHires that have stops on the street, right across the street from SM Mall, and they'll go further north up to Danao, up to Carmen. You'll also find a terminal just across the street from Ayala Center. Just ask or look for the signs. For the Public Utility Vehicle PUV terminal, I believe. And there are a lot of VHires, and during rush hours, they get backed up. People get in line and wait for that VHire, wait to load up. I know a friend that lives on Mactan Island that often flags them down on the street, just like you would some buses. Um, there's also a big terminal downtown. I'll show you that just in a second. And some of your stops, you'll find there are lots of vendors out there trying to sell you foods and stuff. Fares are pretty inexpensive, usually under 50 pesos. And this is a pretty large terminal in the downtown Cebu City area. And just ask somebody where it's at, and they can direct you to it. They generally don't run on a particular schedule. When the van fills up, they go. So if you're on a schedule, you need to get there early. Be sure to get on there and get to wherever your destination is. And you can find them going pretty much all over the Philippines, Cebu City anyway, from there, and the whole island of Cebu. Even though many areas of the Philippines are tourist destinations, and they do tend to lag behind. They are lagging behind many other Southeast Asian countries, and there's a big push to bring in many more tourists for that tourist dollar, as well as expats, foreigners to live here and retire, to start businesses, to bring in all that cash money. And you will continue to see, as different cities grow, you will see the transportation systems change and hopefully improve, and hopefully they'll start concentrating on cleaning up the pollution issues that they have, air pollution, water pollution. It is not uncommon to put 18 people or a couple more than that into one of these 15 passenger vans. If you have a lot of luggage, you may have to pay for an extra seat to store that on. I did that on the last VHire I took from the very north end of Cebu. I come across from Malapascua Island over to Maya terminal. And I paid, I think, 100 extra for the middle seat. I had the front seat, and I paid 100 pesos extra, $2 extra for my luggage to sit in that middle seat, which would have been a little bit tight because the luggage I had was a little bit larger. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share the video. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time.